Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe coming to you on a Friday morning. I am back from Disney. This time 1 week ago, I was in Animal Kingdom. And I'll tell you, after 4 days walking around Disney parks, my feet hurt like you wouldn't believe. I got back and I just was like, I can't do Disney anymore. Can't do it. I'm too old. It's too much wear and tear on my feet. It's a young man's game and I'm not a young man anymore. I don't have it in me. But after several days and my feet healing up and feeling good again, now I'm in Disney withdrawal and I wish I was there again. It's the way it goes, huh? So yeah, and you know, they say that if you're in Florida and throw a rock, you'll hit a Disney vlogger. That's how many people there are vlogging Disney. So this was my first time ever doing that, Disney vlogging. I don't usually do vlogs. I usually do these things where I sit here and talk to you about movies, but I don't do the daily vlog type of video. It's not my style. I tried it. I tried my hand at that. Found I didn't really like it. But I'll do it on special occasions, like I did it when I was in Disney, because, come on, you kind of have to, don't you? I don't know if I'll ever do it in Disney again, because next time I go to Disney, I'll probably have my family with me. I'll definitely have my family with me, and I don't know that I want to be doing that kind of thing when my family's there. I'm going to want to be spending time with my family, not out shooting stuff. So I did it once. It was cool. I got to party in the party zone. Now listen, if I ever get to be in the party zone with either Adam or my good friend Cinema Sickness or Justin, you better believe I'm going to take advantage of it, because come on, the party zone's legendary now. But I got to do a party zone video that made me happy. Yeah, so that's probably the only time I'll ever do a Disney vlog, because next time my family will be there and they will get my full attention. But this time my family was not there, so I did it. But I wanted to talk today about Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. While I was there, I ran into, you know, I said, you throw a rock in Florida, you hit a Disney vlogger. And sure enough, I ran into, while I was in Hollywood Studios last Thursday night, I ran into a woman who was live streaming. Turns out it was Streaming the Magic. And I had never heard of Streaming the Magic. I subscribe to them now, by the way, because now we've met, now we know each other. I subscribed. But man, they're crazy. Streaming the Magic, they're crazy. They're doing they do like 6-7 hour live streams from the parks daily. They're probably doing a live stream as I'm recording this. As you're watching this, they're probably doing a live stream. Look them up. Now, that's kind of cool, you know. You can check it out, and it's like you're vicariously in Disney at any moment of the day. Just find their channel. But I can't sit through 6 hours of that. And all the time, I got to do work. I got to shoot my own videos. But thought I'd give them a shout out, because I met them and I ambushed their live stream. And it seems like it's not always the same person. When I met Streaming the Magic, it was a woman. Her name's Jen. And seems she has I don't know their relation. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I don't know if it's her husband, boyfriend, but she has a guy named John who does it with her. And sometimes it's just him. Sometimes it's just her. I have yet to see them do it together, but I'm sure they vlog together sometimes. And then the other day, it was someone named Beth. I don't know who Beth is. So apparently, I guess if you're going to live stream from Disney daily, it helps to have a team, because who could be there every day? You can't do it. We've all got jobs we got to go to, right? We got family, we got other obligations. So I guess they have a whole team that it's one day, it's always one of them. That's my impression, my takeaway from it. But again, I've only watched their channel a couple times, so I don't know how it works. So I wanted to talk to you today after 5 minutes of ranting about my Disney trip. I want to talk about some things that have happened in the last couple days in the news, namely Mr. Gordon Shumway. ALF is coming back, or is in the early stages. Let's hope it happens, because it could fall through, and that would make me very, very sad. There was talk a few years ago about an ALF movie, and that ALF movie never happened. So that's just proof that these things can fall through. But it's come out in the last couple days that Warner Brothers Television is in early talks to bring back ALF. Now, all the reports I've read say there's no word on if Paul Fusco is involved. If you look down below, I interviewed Mr. Paul Fusco a couple years ago, and I'm going to put the link right there. You can hear my interview with Paul Fusco. Just look below, click the link, there you go. Paul Fusco, for those of you who don't know, is the creator of ALF. He's the puppeteer who performed ALF. Some of you may say he's quote-unquote the voice of ALF. I don't like it when puppeteers are called the voice, because they are much more than that. They do the whole performance. They work the puppetry. They do much more than just the voice. So I don't like hearing them called the voice. Paul Fusco performed ALF, the voice and the manipulation of the puppet. Plus he came up with the character. Plus he created the sitcom. He was a producer of the sitcom. There would be no ALF without Paul Fusco. So these reports say they don't know if Paul Fusco is involved. I can't imagine he wouldn't be. And he owns the character. So even if he's not involved, it has to be a case of he sold Warner Brothers the character. So even then, it's going to have his blessing in the form of a sale. Just like George Lucas, he may not have made The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, but he sold the property to Disney, which means that while he may not approve of everything Disney does with the property, he at least approved of Disney having the property because he sold it to them, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Paul Fusco and this new deal, but he is the owner of ALF, so he's either involved or he's indirectly involved in that he signed off on it, sold the character in some fashion. Here's what I'm hoping. I want ALF to be a puppet. I'll be very, very disappointed if ALF becomes CGI or animated or something, which I couldn't see them doing on a TV budget anyway. I want him to be a puppet. Rumor is that it's going to be about ALF getting off the Air Force Base, which they're calling Area 51. I don't think they called it Area 51 in the movie. But if you saw the TV movie Project ALF, in the final episode of the series, ALF was captured by the alien task force. This was going to lead to the 5th season being about ALF living on an Air Force base. And that eventually came to fruition in the 1996 made-for-TV movie Project ALF that aired on ABC. That was going to be a backdoor pilot for a revived TV series. ABC did not pick the show up. But ALF, after the alien task force picked him up, ended up on an Air Force base where he sort of became like a Sergeant Bilko type. He kind of was running every scam possible. He was, watch the movie. Watch Project ALF. It's an entertaining film. So the premise for this show, we're reading, is that ALF finally gets off the Air Force Base where he's been held all these years. And he has to react to our changing world. This is a perfect premise for ALF, really. In my interview with Paul Fusco, at the time the 2016 election was going on, we hadn't voted yet. The 2016 election was going on, and Paul Fusco talked about how ALF, as an alien, is a perfect venue to do commentary on our society, because he's an outsider. He can look at it, talk about how absurd certain things are. And Fusco said he would love to have ALF back on the air at that time, because all the stuff with the election and Donald Trump and the debates. He said, how funny would it be to just have Alf up there on the stage debating with these guys? And yeah, he's an alien. He's not of this earth. So he can look at things and say, well, that's weird, and comment on them from the perspective of an outsider. That's good satire, that's good comedy, if written well. So to have Alf come back out into the world, in our world as it is today, where some weird things go on, it could be a pretty funny show. It could be pretty funny, and I think they got a good premise there. And the time is right for Alf to come back, I think. So I hope it happens. I hope it goes through. It will make me very happy. I've always loved the character of Alf, and anytime puppets are on television, I'm happy. Television needs more puppets. I'm still bitter that The Muppets was canceled after one season in 2015. That show was great. So we'll see. Here's hoping. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. It's time for Alf to come back. And maybe Paul Fusco will come back and talk to me again to promote the show, if it happens. Maybe. It could happen. It's possible. We'll see. Or maybe he'll be in demand again and won't have time for me, which I would understand. So, keep on wearing those pajamas. I almost forgot, and this is important. It is August, and that means I am once again taking part in the Dog Days of Podcasting. If you don't know what the Dog Days of Podcasting is, this is my second year taking part. Different podcasts every single day from MegaPodTastic. You have two options. You can subscribe to MegaPodTastic through whatever your podcatcher is, iTunes, Stitcher, you name it. You could subscribe to MegaPodTastic, hear my daily podcast for the month of August. But if you're really adventurous, if you really want to have fun, I'm not the only podcaster taking part in the Dog Days of Podcasting. There are, at last count, 22 podcasters taking part in the Dog Days of Podcasting. Big name podcasters like Chuck Tomasi, co-author of the book Podcasting for Dummies. Craig Stepp, who created the Dog Days of Podcasting. It was his idea. Clinton Alvord of The Topic is Trek, with Chuck and Craig, as well as Comedy Forecast. A lot of good podcasters. I can't name them all. There's 22. If I didn't name you, don't be offended. It's just there's 22. I'm not going to sit here and name all 22. But if you want to listen to all 22, go to the dogdaysofpodcasting.com. Subscribe to the Mega Feed. The Mega Feed will give you every single show taking part. And I'm telling you, by the end of August, there's going to be hundreds of podcasts. Listening to them all is a challenge in and of itself. So we're trying to keep them short. My podcasts will be, generally speaking, about 10 minutes or less. And the topic for this year, summertime. We're talking summer blockbuster movies, the greatest summer blockbusters of all time. So far already on the feed at this time are the podcasts where we have talked about Jaws, Star Wars, and Back to the Future. And we are going to go through 30. Or is it 31? How many days are in August? It's 30 days in August, right? Because we had 31 days. Yeah. So we're going to have 30 of the greatest summer blockbusters of all time. We're going to talk about daily. So subscribe down below. If you've never listened to the podcast, what better time? What better time than the Dog Days of Podcasting? So once again, I tell you, keep on wearing those pajamas. This door must be kept closed at all times. Oh, dun dun dun.